What's up, football fam? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're a Cowboys fan, you might want to brace yourself, because the situation around Micah Parsons' contract just got even more complicated. That's right, while Dallas continues to drag its feet, the Pittsburgh Steelers just made a major move that's going to send shockwaves through the entire NFL, especially for teams with elite edge rushers coming up for extensions. Yesterday, the Steelers locked up their franchise defensive player, T.J. Watt, to a historic extension, a jaw-dropping deal that now makes him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Yep, you heard that right, T.J. Watt just signed a 3-year extension worth $123 million with an eye-popping $108 million guaranteed. That's a massive $41 million average annual value, shattering previous records at the position and effectively raising the bar for every elite pass rusher out there, including Micah Parsons. And make no mistake, this isn't just a feel-good story about Pittsburgh rewarding one of their longtime defensive anchors. This move has major implications for the Dallas Cowboys, who now find themselves in a rapidly shifting financial landscape. If you've been following this story closely, you'll know Parsons has been eligible for an extension, and there's been growing tension between his camp and the Cowboys front office. He's been cryptic in interviews, hinting that he's going to get paid regardless, and brushing off questions about contract timelines. But with this new T.J. Watt deal setting a precedent, it's now clear that Dallas can't lowball or stall any longer, because the floor for Micah's new deal has effectively been set, and it's sky high. The fact that T.J. Watt, who has a Defensive Player of the Year trophy and multiple Pro Bowl seasons, got this kind of money tells you how much the top-tier pass rushers are worth in today's NFL. And when you compare Watt and Parsons side by side, the numbers are closer than some people might expect. Micah, in just 4 NFL seasons, has been a wrecking ball on defense. He's already amassed over 50 sacks, has more QB hits than almost any player in that span, and has been a consistent nightmare for offensive coordinators across the league. He's the kind of player who doesn't just put up stats, he changes games. His speed, power, and versatility allow him to move all over the defensive front, play in coverage, rush the passer, and even line up at linebacker or edge, depending on the scheme. Coaches call him a generational talent, and analysts have already said he's a lock for a Hall of Fame trajectory if he stays healthy. But here's the kicker: he's doing all of that while still on his rookie contract. So from his perspective, he's already drastically overperformed relative to what he's being paid, and now other players are getting paid handsomely while he waits. That's the core of the bad news for Dallas. Every week they delay, the market keeps climbing. What used to be a potential $35-38 million annual contract is now pushing past $40 million, and if Parsons continues to stay healthy and dominant, there's no telling how high that number could go by next offseason. The Cowboys have been known for being conservative with long-term commitments, often trying to get deals done late to see more, but that strategy is already starting to backfire. Just look at what happened with Dak Prescott. They waited, played hardball, and ultimately had to shell out a massive contract after the QB market exploded. The same pattern now looms with Parsons. If Jerry Jones and the front office don't act quickly, they might soon find themselves in a financial corner with little wiggle room. Not only that, but they risk alienating one of the most popular and influential players on their roster. Micah isn't just dominant on the field, he's a vocal leader, a media presence, and a fan favorite. He's one of those rare defensive players who sells jerseys, drives engagement on social media, and headlines national games. That's the kind of player you lock up early and build around, not someone you treat like just another contract to negotiate. Meanwhile, other teams around the league are watching and learning. The Steelers acted decisively with Watt, avoiding a prolonged negotiation or potential holdout. They didn't wait until the market dictated the number, they set the market. That's the sign of a front office that knows the value of stability and culture. With Watt locked in, Pittsburgh now sends a clear message to their locker room and the rest of the league: they take care of their stars, they invest in defense, and they mean business. For Dallas, it's the opposite message. The longer they delay, the more it looks like they're unsure of what to do, and in a league where confidence and optics matter, that perception can spread quickly. Now imagine what happens if this turns into a real standoff. If Parsons gets frustrated, holds out, or skips camp, which we've seen other top players do, that becomes a major distraction. It could divide the locker room, affect team morale, and worst of all, derail their defensive identity. The Cowboys are built around Parsons' versatility. He's the engine that makes Dan Quinn's system work. Without him, they lose a lot of flexibility and intimidation on defense. Even worse, if they're forced to use the franchise tag next year instead of finalizing a deal, it puts a short-term band-aid on a long-term problem. That tag would be north of $30 million, fully guaranteed for 1 year, and it doesn't solve anything long-term. It just delays the inevitable and makes the next negotiation even tougher. The smart move would have been to get ahead of this and ink Parsons before the what deal hit the wire, but now that moment's gone, and Dallas has to adjust quickly. The problem is, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys don't exactly have a history of making quick, forward-thinking moves when it comes to contracts. They tend to wait, posture, and negotiate through the media, and in this new, post-what deal world, that approach could blow up in their faces. Parsons' camp now holds all the leverage. They can point to Watt's deal, to Myles Garrett's previous contract, even to Aaron Donald's old numbers, and say, our guy is younger, more versatile, and has more years left in his prime. And honestly, they wouldn't be wrong. From a player power perspective, Micah is in the driver's seat. Meanwhile, fans are starting to get anxious. You scroll through Cowboys forums, and the sentiment is shifting from patience to frustration. Many are asking why the front office is dragging its feet with a player so critical to the team's success. There's a growing sense that if they don't act soon, they'll either lose Parsons or be forced to pay even more down the road, and in a salary cap era, every million matters. The Cowboys also have other looming decisions. Guys like CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs have already gotten extensions, but if Parsons' number blows up, it could limit future flexibility. You can't pay everyone, and Parsons is the kind of player who will demand a massive chunk of the cap. But if you don't pay him, who do you pay? The team is built around him. And the league knows it. Offensive lines plan around him, coordinators scheme to neutralize him, and yet he still produces week after week. That's the definition of value. So what now? Dallas has two options: lock him in now with a record-setting deal that beats what's AAV, maybe something in the $45 million range, or wait and risk a contract dispute that becomes national news. Based on history, they might lean toward the latter, but fans, analysts, and even players are hoping they do the former. This isn't just about keeping a player, it's about setting a tone. Do the Cowboys want to be seen as a team that takes care of its homegrown stars, or one that squabbles over dollars while other franchises move decisively? Because right now, it's Pittsburgh that looks like the stable, championship-focused organization, while Dallas risks looking distracted and reactive. It's crazy to think how one deal can affect so many moving parts, but that's the reality of the NFL today. Every contract sets a precedent, and when the top players get paid, the rest follow. Micah Parsons is next in line, and the Cowboys front office better be ready, because this what deal just changed the game. And that, my friends, is the latest. If you're still watching, smash that like button, drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep NFL breakdowns, because we're just getting started this offseason. Let's see if the Cowboys step up or stumble, because the clock on Micah's mega deal is officially ticking.